True news and reviews. Y'all know we back and you know how we do, man.
Surviving P. Diddy. Here we go.
Diddy.
Looks like Diddy might suffer the same fate as some of our
ah,
once great names like R. Kelly or Russell Simmons.
I don't think we're going
You
that
know,
far. I don't
I'm
think we're
going
going
that
that
far.
far. We're
I'm
going that
going that
far.
far. Yeah, this is going to be big. It's
This is
going to be
big.
hard for him to shake this one. And this has just been a rough year for Diddy. People saying he lying,
Yeah,
Pac
man.
up. Now this.
I feel for Diddy right now, man.
50 already having a field day with this. He on his old brother love. You're looking crazy out here. But let's get into the allegations. It's come out today that Cassie is filing a lawsuit in which she's alleging sex trafficking, rape. I don't even know if we could say that on YouTube, but that word as well as blowing up Kid Cudi's car. Did you catch that point?
Yeah, I caught all of this and it's alarming. It's very alarming. Very alarming,
Well,
but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
well, I mean, let's just kind of frame the story a little bit. I'll read a
Yeah.
little bit here from Hip Hop Lately. Cassie has filed an explosive lawsuit against her ex, Sean Puffy Combs. In it, she accuses Diddy of violence and sex trafficking. She also accuses him of blowing up Kid Cudi's car in 2012 when Cassie began dating the rapper. Did you know she was even dating Kid Cudi? I wouldn't miss me.
Yeah, Miss Me, I didn't know about it, but
Well, Kid Cudi said everything she's saying is true. But let's go.
no.
See, you ain't. I'm on it. See, you so quick to say.
Dang.
Listen, I don't want to put
Yeah,
words in your mouth, but
I was saying she lying. You feel me?
she's broke. She just needs money.
She just needs some money. You know, that was my after reading the story, but you
I'm
telling
not
me
saying.
something
Listen,
now.
I'm not saying that she's not broke. She might need money, but that don't mean that she's lying.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Diddy could be a predator. I don't know. I think it needs to be thoroughly investigated. But what I'm not going to do is write it off just because she's a woman or just because it took her 5 years or however long
5 years, man. Come on.
is any
Dang.
less credible as far as I'm concerned. But let's read here. Mr.
Mhm.
Combs, this is what she says in the lawsuit. Mr. Combs and okay, Cassie was with Mr. Combs, I guess it must have said, and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbing demands for Miss Ventura. The dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Among other violent and unlawful acts, Mr. Combs raped Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura, forced Miss Ventura to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters. Ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned was nearby. We got to find out who that was. We're going to have to investigate a little bit deeper into that. And demanded that Miss Ventura, he demanded that Miss Ventura carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is. And he introduced Miss Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. Now that one I might push back on a little bit. How we know you wasn't getting high with the man? Now
Yeah,
did he
now
made you do it all? I don't know about that part.
now
You know.
listen, he's not facing no criminal charges. We gotta clear this
Okay.
up. He's
Okay.
not facing any criminal charges of sex trafficking. This is all about a lawsuit. Okay.
Listen, and all of this is just allegations at this point. He hasn't been proven guilty, so we're not putting that on him. I'm just saying the allegations are kind of convincing to me. When Kid Cudi says that, yeah, the man blew up my car. So if you have shown a propensity for violence in the past, we know about the kettle bill. We know about you jumping on J. Cole. We done heard rumors about you lining up Pac. You know, we know you for being a violent nigga. You jumped on Steve Stout about the Nas video. We know you for getting busy. You know what I'm saying? So none of this to me sounds unbelievable. And now I hear that you're blowing up cars because she talking to the next nigga. You a problem, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Diddy, but I'm not. This doesn't seem unbelievable to me. You know what I'm saying? So they're
Now listen,
allegations
yo,
at this point.
I can believe it was probably some altercations or some situations that they done had. But to me, to say that these criminal the criminal stuff that she's accusing them for, as far as sex trafficking, rape, for you not to speak on this only through a lawsuit, to me is just a little alarming. It's just
I mean,
crazy to
listen,
me.
listen. It's a statute of limitations on things. The reason why she was able to bring this to a court is because a bill that was pushed and allowed people to, and the expiration date on that, you know, is coming to a close. So this is one of the last opportunities she would have had to bring this to
To get it
court.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, bring it to court. You know, maybe she wants justice, and justice sometimes comes into the form of a bag. Let's not act like that's not what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If somebody get gunned down by the police and the family want money, we're not gonna be like, oh, they're just clout chasing for a bag. No, they should be compensated. Just like if he was putting hands and feet on her, putting her head between the washer and the dryer or whatever she's alleging, she probably deserves a bag. And look, to be fair, Diddy's team is vehemently denying these allegations. Diddy's legal team pushed back on the suit, claiming Cassie was trying to shake Puff down for 30 million and went forward with false allegations when he didn't bite. Now they
Right. So
dated
how would
on
you
and off
feel?
again in 2015 and 2016.
Right. So how would you feel if Diddy gave her like 1.5 million, 2 million, and she was like, okay, I'll get rid of this lawsuit.
I
Would
feel
you
like
feel
that's their business. What you mean how
okay?
I feel? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just feel like that's okay. That would compensate for me. And she might have did the math in her head like I can't beat this guy in court. He has too much money and too much influence. There's never been a time where you were in court where you said I'm just gonna take a a deal that's going to be more convenient. Maybe I don't have the money, maybe I don't have the time to fight this like this, but if I could just get this deal and get out of here, it's better for my lifestyle. You
Probation?
never
You
been
mean
in that?
probation? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that
Take
I
the
ain't trying to say you
probation.
told on nobody or
Yeah,
nothing. I
yeah.
don't want to make it sound like that.
For
But
real.
yeah, we done took probation or something like that
Yeah.
because not because we felt like we was really wrong in the situation. But listen, I don't have the time, I don't have the money to fight with these people. Let me just go ahead and get what I could get and get on. It might be a situation like that. What did you feel about the allegations about her Diddy hiring a succession of male prostitutes and having them kind of just run through Cassie while he watches and pleasures himself? That's kind of like he would refer to him as freak offs. That's what the New York Times article said. What's your reaction to that? Is that the first
Wow,
time you
that's
hearing
hey,
that,
listen.
or
Whatever somebody do, I'm not saying that Diddy did this, but if that's what they do in they business in their bedroom, I mean, it's crazy to me. But we've been hearing a lot of guys, the Dwight Howards and all of these guys so it's weird to me.
so you
I'm one of the
standing with Dwight and you standing with Diddy? We not talking
no,
about.
I ain't standing with them, but
Okay,
I'm
but
like,
listen, I could get if you were saying that these were consenting adults agreeing to freak off, but in both of the incidents that you mentioned, these are people alleging that they were pushed to do things against their will. That's wrong, right, Bob? Can we agree on
yeah,
that at least?
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta, we gotta, we gotta draw a line somewhere. I mean, if she not with it, that's kind of, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, if she not with it, she should have reported this to them people. You know what I mean?
I have a problem with you saying that because it's like
Damn,
not
why? That's
everybody,
snitching? Not
no,
everybody's gonna
no. I'm
snitch.
not saying it from that point of view. Like, I've been on record on this program of ours saying that sometimes it's the right time to snitch.
So you
Sometimes you
feel
got
like
to
the right
tell.
thing for her to do was to not tell the police about this?
Nah, man. What I'm trying
Okay.
to say, I have a problem with you saying that she should have told the police earlier. People react to trauma on their own time. She coming to the she coming to the courts now. Maybe she can't go to the police. I don't know. I'm not a legal expert. I'm never going to pretend to be. We don't have any novel legal insights. I'm trying to figure it out just like, you know, other savvy media consumers out here. But if she didn't come right away, I don't feel like we should hold that against her. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, but don't you feel like people who do crimes like that deserve to go to jail? Do you feel like somebody could be able to pay their way out if I give Cassie $1 million and I all of these things go away about me and you don't he's not nobody's holding him to the to the things that he done wrong. Y'all
Mm,
basically
mm,
saying that it's okay to do this if you got money. Is
mm.
that what we saying?
That's a good point. I really don't feel comfortable saying that that's okay. I feel like if you wanna beat up on women and
Right.
you wanna take the box against their will, have a succession of male prostitutes run through them, you might have to go to jail. I ain't gonna lie. He might have to get locked up,
That's
or
what I'm
that should
saying. But
happen.
if he's not facing no jail time, I don't think it's
It's
number
not a
one.
perfect world. It's not a
Yeah, but
perfect
it's
world.
hey,
I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying that this legal system is the best one that we got. This is the only thing we got to deal with right now. You know what I'm saying? So if the only thing that she could get out of him is a bag, what am I gonna do? I'm not a vigilante. I'm not a superhero. I don't know
she
what to
gonna quiet up though. But what I'm saying is, it's not gonna affect him. She's gonna be able to pay her some money, and we're gonna say that to sex traffic, to rape, to do all of this, it's okay if you got the bag. You
No,
don't
we're
gotta
not
go to
saying that.
jail like
I'm not
everybody
saying
else.
that. We're not saying that.
Okay.
Nobody's saying that. But it would be a shame if he gets away with it, and it would kind of speak to where our legal system is. I'll read a little bit from the New York Times article. According
Okay.
to the suit, Mr. Combs called these encounters freak offs, which involved costumes like masquerade mask and lingerie. They continued for years, taking place at high-end hotels across the United
Wow.
States and Mr. Combs's homes. The suit says that he instructed Ms. Ventura to search the websites for escort services to procure male sex workers. Drugs were supplied at these events, which Miss Ventura's suit says she took because they allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. Now, which one is it? They allowed you to disassociate, or he making you take them? I don't know. That seems a little bit different. According to the suit, Miss Ventura would delete videos from these incidents that had been shot on her phone. But then Mr. Combs told her, I'm saying this part from memory because I ain't screenshot that. Mr. Combs told her that he still has access to the videos, and then while they was on a flight, he made her watch one of the videos that she thought she deleted. This
Mm.
nigga Diddy different, allegedly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this was
Legend.
his fantasy of voyeurism. So it's people into that kind of thing. Um, Another incident happened in Los Angeles in 2009. The suit says Mr. Combs became enraged when Miss Ventura was talking to another talent agent, then pushed her into a car and kicked her and repeatedly he pushed her in the car and kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her bleed. According to the suit, Mr. Combs then had his staff bring her to a hotel room to recuperate for a week. She asked him to go home to her parents, but Mr. Combs refused, the suit says. Yeah,
Mm.
he said she also said that he would isolate her from her support network. He used to beat her multiple times each year. That's a quote from New York Times.
Not brother love.
Yeah, man. He said he was giving her drugs like ecstasy, ketamine, and urged her to take them in the suit, and often became violent. That's from the New York Times article. And as I said, Kid Cudi is saying that his car did get blown up. So when I heard that, it made it easier for me to believe that the rest of the stuff is true. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
Mm.
gonna lie, though. It was like, I'm on a scale from 1 to 100%. Where are you when it comes to like believing these allegations? Like
I
how
believe it's some of there that could be true.
I
My
mean,
whole
from 1 to 100%, 100% being you believe everything,
yeah, I
zero
would
being you
say
don't
I'm at
believe nothing.
about 40-30%.
40 or 30%. Okay, I say I'm at 60-40. Uh where's that 60% of doubt coming from? Like what is the where's the doubt coming from?
To me, it's just that you didn't go to the authorities. You know what I mean? If you would have went to the authorities first and you wanted somebody who did wrong to go to jail, I would feel more secure that you're not gonna fabricate anything to get a bigger bag or to get more attention. With this, I feel like when you go this route, now if you would have filed for for him to go to jail first and then went this route, I would have been more believable. But when you just skip the whole jail part and you going for the money, that's
We
where
don't
my
know.
doubt.
We don't know if. Listen, we don't know if that was even an option. I'm gonna read here from the conclusion of the New York Times article. Miss Ventura's case, like other recent sexual assault lawsuits, is being brought under the Adult Survivors Act, a New York law that allows people who say that they were victims of sexual abuse to file civil suits after the statute of limitations has expired. The 1 year window to bring cases under this law ends next week. The law is cited in Miss Ventura's complaint, and in a statement, she addressed its importance. With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, she said, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. So you see, Bob, the statute of limitations have long passed for her to bring these allegations against Diddy. This is her last shot to get justice. Some people, some
Right.
people are suffering and they don't come to the they don't she was young. You know what I'm saying? We about to be 40 soon. You feel me? This was a young woman up against a high profile CEO who has power and influence, who has lawyers. You immediately thought, she was just trying to chase a bag. Back then, we were a lot less sensitive to issues like this in the media. This was before the Me Too movement. They might have laughed her out of the room. Did he? Why would he have to do that? There's women falling at his feet. Why would Diddy have to do that to you? And there's a lot of women who came up and came out and spoke against things like that and weren't taken seriously. So I ain't gonna write it off. Now I am gonna say my doubt comes from that 40% doubt comes from we just don't know. We haven't seen a lot about it. We haven't seen a lot of evidence. I want to see some
Right.
depositions. I want to see the discovery. I'm going to reserve my confidence and believe in all of this until I see more information. But nothing that she's saying is outside of the realm of belief for me. Like
Well, how
I think
could
she
we
has
believe?
better things to do. She's married with kids now. I think she has better things to do with her time than the
Oh, she's
clout
married
chase.
with kids now.
Yeah,
So yeah, the husband probably like, look, man, look. He probably
he's
like, look,
somewhat
man.
successful. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how successful he is, but he's a former dancer or something. They both in the industry. Cassie's, a model. That I don't think they're shaking a cup on a street corner or something like that. They're probably doing all right. You never know how broke somebody is, but
Yeah, man, for real, for real,
they
for
don't.
real.
I mean, I don't have no reason to think that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Diddy might do some opposition research and show that this was some kind of shakedown, some kind of blackmail thing that turned into something else. I don't know. They say Diddy offered to pay her some money. So if you ain't do nothing, why is Diddy offering to give her $1 million? But what's $1 million to a nigga who they say is a billionaire? So
Right. I mean,
I
you don't want your name sprayed like this,
yeah,
man.
you don't want nobody smut your name up like that. And I
Yeah,
don't think the
man.
number was exactly $1 million. We'll have to get into the weeds of this whole thing to see exactly how much, but it was a long number. It was a long number. So uh I guess we'll just have to follow this story. I really wanted to sit with this one a little while because the first reporting on stories like this are not necessarily the most accurate. We don't have to report on everything the same hour it come out. I think there is some kind of there's a benefit to wait until all of the facts come out to speak on it, but I did think it was kind of good to be early on this too. We kind of been out of the loop, so I
Yeah,
wanted to get
I
people
mean,
back, let
people on
people
our
know we
channel
still out
love
here.
listening to Diddy, man. They
Yeah,
love for some reason when we talk about Diddy, they
yeah.
wide open, they
And listen,
comment.
when we be on here kicking Diddy back in, you know what I'm saying? When we was highly, I know I was highly critical of some things Diddy did in the past. People were defending him. I want to see if they gonna defend him in the comments this time. Let's see if
For
where the
real.
public perception is. Are we
Yeah, what
really
y'all
want people
think?
to comment on this one?
For real. I want to know, man, because we've
Brother
been having a
Love,
lot of
man of
comments.
God, the arguably the greatest rapper that ever lived.
For real.
Self-proclaimed greatest rapper that ever lived.
Yeah.
Just made a hot album. Do you believe the allegations? Or is Cassie just thirsty for a bag? Trying to smut up Brother Love's name. Let's get into it, man. If you like what you hear, like and share. Hit the subscribe button to join the tribe, cousin. And we probably got a couple words to leave them with, Bob. What do you think they should do, man?
Hey, man, stay shrewd, man. Y'all look out for
Damn
them
right.
stay shrewd gear, man. The
Oh,
merch
that's
coming
coming.
soon.
We're gonna give y'all another way to support. It's coming.
For real. For real. Peace.
Yeah.